Welcome to Juice Podcast. I'm Emily Harmon.
And I'm Gwen Douglas.
Today we're talking about the Syrah or
Shiraz
grape variety. So Gwen and I, as usual, bought a bottle each, and we just thought we should talk a little bit. We haven't done that many single varietal red episodes, so we thought let's choose one of the grape varieties that we really enjoy. So we thought Syrah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Syrah as a grape variety? Like, what do you think of when you first?
I would probably say that it was one of the first red wines that I got really into, that I liked a lot. I think probably because it's juicy, big. There's some flavours that I could identify. Yeah. I also like things that taste a bit piney. So. And
growing up in North America, did you think, like, did you know Syrah to be Syrah, or did you know Syrah to be Shiraz?
Shiraz. We're drinking Australian Shiraz. Yeah. Generally in North America, I would say.
At the bulk level, or like just
probably. But I mean, that's would have been my
Cuvée buffet, like at the buffet restaurant. Was there any?
Yeah, maybe around the time of Cuvée buffet, and perhaps a little bit later, working in other
Cuvée
places.
buffet red. Many shades of Syrah.
And when I worked at a cocktail bar, we used to like the sparkling Shiraz a lot.
That's so interesting that you had sparkling Shiraz in Canada. But really, from Canada or
from Australia?
Amazing.
Because the sparkling that we served as our sort of like quote-unquote champagne, if someone wanted a fizz, was also a sparkling Australian.
Okay. So I thought you were about to say when people wanted champagne, we gave them sparkling Shiraz then. I was that's fucking...
No, we used to do like, we'd take the sparkling Shiraz and add like a little bowl of raspberry sorbet or lemon sorbet on top,
nice.
And do like some sort of ice cream float sort of idea cocktails that were quite nice.
Boozy ice cream. Yeah, that's nice. That's so funny. So growing up in the UK, you would assume, because, well, I guess it's all part of the Commonwealth, but you would assume that you'd get more. Like, I don't ever remember seeing sparkling Shiraz growing up.
I don't think I've seen it much since, to be honest. Because I would actually happily drink some.
I reckon if there was more sparkling Shiraz that was cheaper and not, because now it's actually quite expensive to buy decent sparkling Shiraz.
The stuff that we were getting was not expensive.
Yellowtail, yellowtail with bubbles.
Maybe, about like a bit like that. Yeah. Hey, I came very close to bringing a yellowtail bottle. So
I know you kept threatening that over message, and I was getting a bit nervous. I was like, but it would have been interesting to chuck it in.
Yeah, because we had the conversation when we did Sauvignon Blanc about Oyster Bay.
Yeah.
Some of those things are kind of...
And I think that's the thing. All of these bigger producers that are making quite industrial wine are responsible for us getting familiar with some of these varietals. So they do have a place in terms of education. Maybe not always the best education, but a good intro. And I think still, even on the commercial scale, that you can still see what Shiraz is all about to some degree, or not all about, but partly of what it's about. But
I have to say that, like, one of the moments, it was a wine that you'd brought over to my house a couple of years ago before I did the Court of Masters exam, and it was like a spritzy Vin de France Shiraz, and I remember it was such a great lesson for me in Shiraz because it was such a
different style.
Yeah, it was sort of like a Shiraz on steroids that gave me the idea of like all the tasting notes that will be burned in my head forever. This sort of like pine needle, fruit, all the different things that now I think. Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah, that's your go-to. Yeah, I think so. When I think of Shiraz, I think of a wine that's sort of usually at least medium-bodied, but sort of medium plus to full-bodied. I obviously immediately go to the Rhône Valley, which is the home of Syrah. And I think of leather, I think of plum, I think of violet when it's young, I think of pine forest, like you said.
It's like hedonistic kind of like feeling pepper. About it,
Yeah, because it's dark. You're right. You're completely right with that, because it's dark and it's sort of moody,
sexy,
but it's pretty and aromatic. Like it's botanical to a degree as well.
This is like interesting. Like being in a pine forest with the sun shining above you, where you're like in this like dark, cool place, but there's all this sort of like heat and
these fresh
around.
notes as well. Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So it's like summer day in a pine forest.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it, actually.
So
I think I wouldn't usually say this because we bought two different wines, and I actually have a New World wine, but I actually think we should have the New World wine first because I think it's going to be lighter. It's a bit of an atypical. I think if we, everybody, when they read and they learn about wines, they're like, oh, the New World wines, they're bigger, they're riper. But now, today, things have changed, and there are people working and making. It's actually harder to blind taste wines than it's ever been. There are people making wines in warm parts of the world, and they're making fresh wines, vice versa.
I guess is that just because there's so much combined knowledge now, and
Yes.
this sort of ability to share knowledge quickly and easily that people can have more in their
And I think
repertoire.
because the consumer's more knowledgeable, more open, this natural wine movement has helped with that a lot. That producers like Craig, who we're going to try now, can be really bold and courageous and artistic with what they're creating.
I love the name of this.
Yeah, it's such.
I like the font. I like the label.
Yeah, it's a very simple label, but it does speak quite well. So this is 2017 El Bandito, the dark side from Testalonga.
I love it because the font looks like the Lucky Luke font from the Belgian cartoons.
It is, and I love that every time he makes a wine, there's like obviously there's those ridiculous. Yeah, there's a little jail barcode, and then there's also the little comments. Like, so there was one that he did where it had a woman's like bum, like just in a thong, but a photograph on the front label, and I think it said it was something about like there was a peach joke on the back or something like that. How do you like those apples? That's what it said, how do you like those apples? This one says lots of fun was had making this wine. Why can't we be friends? So
I'm excited to try this.
So 100% Syrah. Craig's one of the sort of leading names in the Swartland, so that area an hour or so north of Cape Town, which has seen like a huge movement over the last decade of really interesting small producers. Like we tried Smiley together.
Yes.
That was quite a few that brought over to us in that episode on South African wine. Craig is sort of, for me, one of my favourite producers in the area. His wines always err on this purity and this freshness, and I feel like more and more they're getting better and better. So I've been buying Craig's wines since 2011 or 12. And I met him. He used to be making wines at this winery called Lamazuk, and he left there and then set up his own project. And he was quite experimental, and his wines were very extreme at first, almost like abrasive because they were so acidic and fresh. Not in a bad way, but just for some people, like almost too acidic. Okay. And I actually said to him last week, I tasted the new vintages and said, the wines, he's understanding them more and more, and you see the details more and more, and there is just this pure line in all of them, and they're all fresh. So when you drink them, you want to drink the whole bottle. 12% alcohol. Yeah. What do you think of it?
It's really nice, and to be honest, I wouldn't have maybe pegged it immediately as being like, other than there is
because
like a
of
real
the fresh
juiciness,
acidity.
but yeah, it is quite like light, and there's sort of a delicateness about it that I didn't necessarily expect.
Yeah. I mean, 12% Syrah we don't get to try too often, but I love that it's still got the spiciness. I love that it's got this violet-y character to it. It's just got less of those more animally savoury notes. Sometimes we associate Syrah from the northern Rhône.
Oh, it's really nice.
And it's not like Shiraz from Australia that's really compact and deep. This is like pure, fresh, almost like Beaujolais style.
Totally, exactly. I think this is a bit of, definitely.
This is Syrah for the gamay drinker.
Yes. Like, I would definitely, which is not something I would ever think to say, like, oh, you like a gamay, have a Shiraz. Yeah. But this is, very surprising.
Food pairing?
Hang on, let's have a think about it. I mean, I think you could have a lot of things with this. Like, it would probably make a really nice risotto.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
But I was thinking even just like a simple minute steak and potatoes with like oh my god. Yeah, something super simple I think would work. Like, I would have this like on a weekday dinner. Drink this with something easy.
Roast chicken.
Yeah, roast chicken, little pork chop.
And what about, or Chinese
potatoes.
food? Oh, yeah.
I just want to have it with, like, potatoes and creme fraiche and chives. A baked potato. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, or if you needed to if you wanted to, like, pair Syrah with, maybe he needs the loo. If you wanted to pair, like, Syrah with, like, raw meat, like, maybe, like, steak tartare would be quite nice, actually, because it's not too heavy, but it's got enough acidity.
That actually would be very nice.
Yeah. Steak tartare or, like, some, like, vitello crudo or something like that would be quite nice.
Yeah, I think what you just said with the tartare is a fab idea.
Yeah.
It would be so nice with like little capers and pickles and mayo and
yeah, definitely.
Yum.
So when I've Tartar, I don't want something too strong, but I want something that's got some character, nice with a bit of spice, and also the good acidity
I
as
think
well.
the acidity is perfect for it. Yeah, very nice.
Shall we? I'd love to try what you've got over there. I can see that we've got empty glasses, so I guess we better fill up.
So, I've brought a 2016 Crozes-Hermitage, appellation Crozes-Hermitage contrôlée, from Alain Graillot.
Ah, the man.
So,
the man, the legend.
I know that you know of the man. I did not. I just thought this was a classic-looking Rhône.
So one of the only, funnily enough, one of the only Syrahs that I like from Morocco, and actually one of the only red ones that I really, really like from Morocco, is an Alain Graillot project as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, he's making wine in Morocco.
It's called Tandem, or Tandem.
Oh,
Would you say that
amazing.
is French Tandem.
Tandem, yeah?
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah. So, iconic producer, and I guess what's really good there, I mean, the wines for Crozes-Hermitage, obviously they're a little bit more expensive than other producers, but I think the wines are really good, and he's kind of a specialist in Syrah because most of his vineyards are 100% Syrah. Yeah. So let's have a, if you don't mind.
We were looking up, he used to work in, what was the work he left behind to become a winemaker? He was in some sort of like eco-chemistry.
Yeah, or
agrochemistry, that was it.
Agrochemistry before.
Which means he has obviously an interesting approach.
Yeah, so he had a career in agrochemicals in 85, left that in 85, and then he rented out some parcels of vines, slowly got more and more, owned his own vineyards eventually. And he's quite a well-respected, well-considered producer in the Rhône who also consults on a number of different projects. You know, I went to Venice recently and I tried those wines Orto, which are made on Sant'Erasmo Island. He consulted on the vinification there and works with a number of different growers in different places. Cool. So he's got a good understanding of, I think, making terroir-driven wines that represent the grape variety and where they come from. Yeah,
very cool.
And also the person. Terroir's also the person, I think, as well. But this, it could be nothing else than the Rhône. When you smell this wine, you drink the perfume.
Yeah, it's really...
It's got this violety, almost rose
already.
petal, like it's really a leathery, almost like baked earth sort of notes. Briny, olive brine, tapenade.
Yes, totally.
I mean, it's a lot more complex. I think it is more expensive as well.
Definitely makes my mouth water. I don't remember what I paid for it because I bought two cases of wine at the same time. So
this is definitely when you're eating like Sunday lamb, like a roast dinner with lamb, roast lunch Sundays. This would be a hell of a wine.
This one
Lamb
has
with capers and like lamb, olive, capers, like that sort of. That's what
I mean, you're
thinking.
speaking my language. Those are all the things I love to eat.
Yeah, except the lamb.
Except the lamb bit. Maybe with this it would be more.
Most of the time you're eating it without knowing.
I know. Well, that's top to Lucas.
Ooh, sorry, I just kicked the bucket.
But this has quite a it's very crunchy.
Yeah,
like there's a big
again
snap.
Good acidity, but you're right, more tannin. Like it's got a little bit more grippiness to it.
Yeah. I want to sit in a log cabin.
Oh yeah, you've just got out of the sauna or something. You're in Scandinavia, or maybe you're in Canada because you're Canadian.
It's kind of the same thing, to be honest. It looks the same.
That's a nice idea, actually. Come out, it's snow out, so it's not very seasonal for right now.
You've got a little bit of but even a log cabin in the summer on a cool night, if you're up in the mountains or somewhere, it's like...
I think the smell of Syrah would make a great perfume.
Oh, totally.
You're right, like campfire, but
this would be a
leather
great
note.
Campfire summer wine.
When it's maybe like European summer, but Northern European, like English summer, where it's still cold at night, and you have to light the fire because it's getting a bit nippy, and you forgot your jacket because you were so stupid.
That's like every English person in England.
They were like, "Oh my god, the sun's out! It's going to be really warm forever now." Okay, it's 8 p.m. Oh my god, I'm really cold. I've got goosebumps.
I don't even think there's that much of a thought process. I've seen people not wear shoes and socks or coats, and it'll be like torrential downpour and 5 degrees. The Brits are like, mad. I'm fine. I don't want to pay that 50p for coat check.
I mean, to be honest, go look around Berlin as well. It gets a bit
Well,
There's a lot of people that look like they're from the Kevin and Perry film here, just like skinnier, that's all.
they all kind of look like,
like
Belgian
everybody's-
cartoons.
Yeah, it also looks like people have traded like parts of their shell suit sets, you know, like so
Yes.
they're like, oh, I'll give you my jacket for your jacket, so you see all like these mishmash like
I'm not gonna lie,
80s.
I have been looking for a shell suit, but a complete one. But
Yeah.
I think all the trousers like spontaneously combusted in the 90s. Like, were they like banned in Liverpool or something? They were like,
They're so
kids couldn't-
flammable.
Yes, they're like highly flammable. Kids were like smoking cigarettes behind the bike sheds or whatever and setting themselves on fire like Roman candles.
I mean, what a way to go.
It's like some sort of Viking send-off. Like your shell suit explodes and you're one with the night sky. Well, this is where this Shiraz is taking us into.
Yeah, the night sky. Yeah. Up in flames into the night sky with Syrah from the Northern Rhône.
I do think that I would want to eat something with this, though. I think the acidity is probably a bit too high for me to just drink alone.
I could probably polish one bottle off, but if I was going for a second with somebody else.
Yeah.
I like it, but I think I've just noticed as well, which is very funny. They've obviously put the wrong label on this bottle of wine. Sorry, I've just got distracted from what
Really?
it's saying.
Oh.
This is the Magnum label. Look, it says 1,500
Oh, shit.
millilitres.
They were just like, fuck it, we're fine with these stickers, no one's going to read that.
Yeah, an illegal label, essentially. Alain Graillot. Take more care.
Tut.
Yeah, you bad
Naughty
boy.
We like it. We like the bad boys.
No, I think you're right. Even just like a plate of charcuterie,
Yeah,
some
just
saucisson,
something.
even something with a bit of spice, maybe.
Maybe a bit fatty.
Yeah, fatty.
Just something
definitely.
to like balance out the acidity a little bit.
Or even, it's funny. I also find like Syrah can go quite nicely, like sheep's milk, hard sheep's milk cheese.
Yes, I
So
can
some
totally
aged
see that.
pecorino or
Yeah,
something.
yum.
Yeah,
That'd be really good.
yeah. That's the top wine. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, food pairing with Syrah, I always think herbal meats, herbal spicy meats.
Yeah.
In all its forms, charcuterie, raw,
Right.
with the tartare,
Yeah.
like we were saying before, and then like
'cause this would
Sunday
also be
roasts, like, or even like, you know, barbecue.
Yeah, because this could stand up to like mustards and condiments and things
Yes.
with high acidity would be totally fine.
Totally.
Yeah, very nice.
Even like, you know, like you have like pulled pork sandwiches, maybe not even pork, but like even a beef burger in a glass of Shiraz. Oh my god.
Well, that's going to maybe have to be another quote-unquote comfort food pairing. Doesn't quite have the same ring.
I know. Is pizza junk food? Is it comfort food? I don't know.
What is the difference?
Is a decent burger comfort or junk food?
I guess it depends how it's made.
Yeah.
We're curious to hear what's your favourite Shiraz? What's your
Yeah,
favourite
what's your
Syrah?
favourite Shiraz? What do you like drinking? What do you like eating with your Syrah or your Shiraz? Do you prefer Australian? Do you
Yeah.
prefer French? Do you prefer South African?
Do you have a line on some sparkling?
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to know.
Who's tried some sparkling Shiraz? We'd like to know what you're eating it with.
We want to know everything. We're just
Eating it with
nosy
it.
bitches.
Eating with it. We are nosy.
So, we'd like to hear all of that.
Yeah.
You can find us on Instagram at juice.podcast.
On Twitter at juice_podcast.
Get yourself a snazzy tote bag at juice.show. And
Yeah.
we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Anybody in Berlin on the 16th of June?
Visit us.
Come down to a wine fair at the Michelberger Hotel. Michelberger Sommerweinfest.
I'll be there skulking around.
Yeah, from 2 p.m. onwards.
Brilliant. Look forward to it.
See you then.
Cheers.
Cheers, Gwen.
Cheers, everybody.